Running backs are behind Verpale. One comes in motion. Handoff goes to Elaine Adams. So Adams will have the first down with that carry. So Adams already getting into the offense. We're not surprised. And he gets the first down. Checking out of the game is Jarvis Howell, and back in one of the key receivers for Merritt Island. It's Drew Sarver. He's going to be lined up in the slot. Robinson off to the left. Once again, Verpale with a shotgun. It'll be first down from the 13. Adams alongside of him, and Adams, it'll be Verpale to the end zone. Touchdown. So Merritt Island gets on the board less than 2 minutes into the game as it's Verpale to Sarver for about 12 yards out. Uh-oh, we got a penalty flag. Hold the phone. The touchdown will not count. Ineligible man downfield on Merritt Island. So everybody is celebrating, but the siren went off.
Looks like an ineligible.
So ineligible man downfield. I'm not sure if it was Sarver or somebody else, but instead it'll remain first down, and the ball's backed up to the 17. It's not all hope is lost for Merritt Island, but a setback there, the touchdown not counting. Verpale, shotgun, Adams alongside, he gets it. Adams does, bounce into the outside, and good tackling here by St. Cloud as he'll gain about 3. Coming off the pile is Bryce Williams on the tackle. So they go with 3 safeties. Bryce Williams is considered the mid-safety. Then you got Joel Cruz, the free safety, and Zeus Howard, the strong safety. We'll set the rest of the defense when we get a chance. But again, with the no-huddle offense, it's kind of hard to reset the players. But for Merritt Island, gate of 1 in that play, 2nd and 9. They have to get to the 2 for a first down. We got motion near side Sarver, and Sarver will get it on the jet sweep around the 10-yard line, and he's upset and taken down. So give him a gain of 2 to the 10-yard line. 17, Deshaun Reese getting in on the stop. Reese leads the team in tackling for St. Cloud. He has 18 to lead the team. He also had a sack last week against Osceola. So the spot is the 10-yard line. It's 3rd and 8 for a first down. It's 3rd and 10 for a touchdown. So again, Merritt Island trying to take advantage of the early fumble and cash this one in as we got 9:50 to go in the first quarter. No score. Verpale shotgun. And he will fake it to Adams. He'll roll out to the right. Pressure coming, and he stumbles and gets taken down. So I'm assuming that Merritt Island will go for a field goal here. So kind of disappointing for Merritt Island. Had great field position. Looked like they might go in for the touchdown, but good job by the St. Cloud defense in buckling down. So Liam Miller is going to come out. Miller is 3 for 4 on field goals so far this year. Had a 22-yarder against Cocoa, 42-yarder against DeLand, and last week 27 yards against Palm Bay. So the spot will be the 20. Verpale will be the holder, and Liam Miller, the left-footed kicker, will try and give Merritt Island an early lead. Again, we're less than 3 minutes into the first quarter. Now we got what do we got? I think we got a timeout again. Joe Hutton is our official. He's the guy in the white cap, and he has not signaled anything yet, but there's a timeout of the field. We'll keep it out here, and we'll take a break after the field goal, whether it's missed or made. So let's give the officials. Joe Hutton is the referee. Mark O'Donnell, the umpire. Michael Totten, the head linesman. Terry Berger is the field judge. Mike Klein is the side judge. The line judge is Brett Messamore. And the electric clock operator, the legendary Bob Walton, who has officiated for well over 30 years, but he is the ECO tonight. By the way, tonight is homecoming here at Merritt Island, so we'll try and get the goods on the homecoming king and homecoming queen at halftime. We'll keep it out here for all the ceremonies. So again, the Mustangs will come out and attempt a field goal to try and put themselves on the board. So again, Miller, 3 out of 4 on field goals. And last year in the 26-23 win over St. Cloud, he actually had 4 field goals, including the game winner in overtime. This is a 30-yarder. The kick is up. I think he missed it. He did. So Liam Miller misses only his second field goal of the year. So St. Cloud denies the touchdown, and they deny the field goal, and St. Cloud will take over on change of downs. So 8:58 to go in this first quarter. And why don't we take a quick break? We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So St. Cloud, the fumble on their first series, actually their first play of the game, did not cost them. Merritt Island missing a 30-yard field goal, so we're still scoreless. 8:58 to go in the first quarter. Oh, again, a pretty nice day out here. Some scattered clouds off in the distance, but I think we're okay. I think we'll be dry tonight. The lights are starting to take effect here at Mustang Field. Jeremy Latier, just a sophomore quarterback, is in the shotgun, and the handoff goes up the middle. That's probably Dalton, but we'll double check. And it is Cameron Dalton. So Dalton is going to get a good number of the carries. I mean, this is an offense that's pretty much a spread, and they're going to throw the ball probably more than run it. But when they do run it, it'll probably be Cameron Dalton. So call the gain of 3 in that last play. 2nd and 7 for St. Cloud from their own 23. Double receivers to the left. Latier back to pass, has plenty of time. Looking over the middle, and it's going to be intercepted. Intercepted at the 44-yard line. Take it back to the 50. Still on his feet to the 40, the 35. And take it down at the 25-yard line. So that'll be a 31-yard return. And that'll be 6. Kamar Fielder with the interception. That's his second interception of the year. So a mistake by Latier. He overshot his receiver, and Fielder was right there to pick it off and return it about 31 yards. So once again, the St. Cloud defense is right back on the field. Again, they did a nice job on the first series against the Merritt Island offense and denied them a score. Now Merritt Island has a chance to score again. So again, we're scoreless. We have 8:04 to go first quarter. Double receivers out to the right side for Merritt Island. They include Howard and Sarver. Motion near side. Handoff up the middle. Adams. Adams will get over the 20 to about the 18-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 7. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 3. Let's look at the Merritt Island offense. Again, Kevin Verpel is the quarterback. Elaine Adams, the primary running back. Again, Rondé Monroe is back tonight. He's not on the field right now, but he'll spell Adams from time to time. All right, 2nd down and 4. Again, no huddle. Handoff Adams up the middle. He'll have the first down and a little bit more as he gets up to the 10-yard line. So he's going to gain about 6 and another first down for Merritt Island. Again, the receivers rotating in and out will be Femi Howard and Drew Sarver, along with Dontarius Robinson, Kamar Fielder, and Keith Hamilton. Handoff up the middle. As Verpel got rid of the ball, they got hit. It was Adams again. Adams gets to the 8-yard line. So they're at the 8-yard line. Checking in, here he comes. He did not play last week. Rondé Monroe is going to spell Elaine Adams at running back. So 2nd down and 7. Handoff Monroe around the left side to the 10, to the 5, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Merritt Island, and this time there are no flags on the field. So this touchdown will stand. So for Rondé Monroe, we'll call that about an 8-yard run. And again, Merritt Island on the scoreboard with 6:49 to go in the first quarter. Extra point coming up by Liam Miller. Miller's a perfect 19 for 19 on extra points. Hopefully I don't jinx him here. Verpel's the holder. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So timeout of the field, 6:49 to go in the first quarter. It is Merritt Island 7, and it's St. Cloud nothing. This is the Space Coast Daily High School Football Game of the Week. All right, welcome back. There goes the guy on the track who runs up and down the field with the Mustang flag, going right behind the cheerleaders. So 7-0 Merritt Island, 6:49 to go in this first quarter. So Liam Miller on for the kickoff, already for the second time. Santiago Ochoa is back deep for the Bulldogs. This one is going to once again go in the end zone. So Liam Miller, he had 4 touchbacks last year against St. Cloud, and already a second touchback tonight. In fact, he only had 1 touchback the entire season coming in tonight, and he gets 2 on his first 2 kickoffs. So St. Cloud will start off a first down from their own 20-yard line and trailing 7-0. Get Jeremy Latier as his quarterback, 6'3", 220, a sophomore. Last week against Osceola, he went 17 for 33, 257 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Owen Sullivan listed as a tight end, but he's actually more of a slot guy on this play. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. With Sullivan in the slot to the right, we got motion near side by Williams. First down for the 20, and the handoff goes to Cameron Dalton. Again, he's going to be the workhorse in the backfield for the Bulldogs, and he gains about 7. So Dalton with a carry. And 21, Jonas Walters, the outside linebacker, getting in on the stop. So actually called a gain of 8, 2nd and 2 for the Bulldogs from their own 28. Once again, 2 receivers right, 1 receiver to the left. Latier looking right, trying to throw it, and it's going to be complete. We got it to the 30 and to the 33-yard line, and that's going to be more than enough for the first down. He'll gain about 5. Again, the pass went to Bryce Williams. Williams so far this year, 10 catches, 266 yards. That was his 11th catch of the year. Last week against Osceola, he had 5 catches. So first down from the 34. There's a pitch play to the left side, power sweep up to the 30, stutter step, and the man is going to be taken down. That is number 3, Stacy Taylor, on the jet sweep, and he's going to lose some yardage back to the 32. So call it a loss of 1, and call it 2nd and 11 for the Bulldogs from their own 32. Got 5:43 to go, first quarter against 7-0 Merritt Island. So Latier out of the shotgun on 2nd and 11 from the 32. Does a clap. Here comes the snap. Hand over the middle. Once again, Dalton. So for Dalton, that's about his 5th carry of the night. Again, the St. Cloud offense has not been on the field a lot, but it seems like Dalton is their workhorse guy, and I'm not surprised. Checking in for Merritt Island is Khalil Hobbs defensively. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and about 6. Bulldogs in their own 39-yard line. Latier's shotgun. Got Gunnar Freeman split out to the right. He has a slot receiver as well. Latier has time. Looking left. Ball caught. And that'll be a first down to the 47-yard line. And that was Michael Kyler on the reception. Kyler with his 9th catch of the year. All right, we got a water break, so we're going to break and be back. It is 7-0 Merritt Island, 4:49 to go in the first quarter. You're watching the high school football game of the week on Space Coast Daily. Okay, this is the deepest penetration for St. Cloud. Oh, somebody jumped. I think it's Merritt Island. I think they jumped defensively, and I think it was Alex Schaefer. And yes, it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Schaefer, the defensive tackle, jumped too early. So we have the always rare 1st and 5 for St. Cloud, and they move it to the Merritt Island 42. Again, they trail 7-0. Shotgun Latier. Double receivers out to the right. We got motion near side Taylor. Handoff at the middle. It's been all Dalton all the time on the rushes. And Dalton, with forward progress, will get it to the 42-yard line. And that was the actual line of scrimmage, so no gain. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Bulldogs. Again, the head coach for Merritt Island is Tyler Murray. Head coach for St. Cloud is Mike Short in his 2nd year. 2nd stint with St. Cloud. I'll talk more about him when I get a chance, but a great gentleman. Visited with him before the game. All right, 2nd and 5 for St. Cloud. For the Merritt Island 43, we got motion near side. Rolling out is Latier, throws, and it's caught. The big tight end, Owen Sullivan, catches it at the 30-yard line. So call that a gain of 9, and that'll be, we got a penalty flag down. Never mind. So each team has a penalty. This might be a holding penalty. I did not see the signal yet by Joe Hutton. So Hutton kind of taking his time. We'll tell you about it, and yeah, it is against St. Cloud.
Looks like it's going to be offensive holding.
Okay, it is a holding penalty. So St. Cloud is pushed back into their own territory. So it's going to be 2nd down and call 15 from their own 48. Okay, St. Cloud trying to get the right players on the field. Freeman is in, number 7. Number 5, Williams is in. So both those gentlemen are going to be lined up to the right side. 2nd and 15 for the St. Cloud Bulldogs from their own 48. Shotgun Latier got motion by Williams. And it'll be a fake handoff, and now handoff goes to Taylor. Taylor will pick up some pretty significant yardage as he'll get about a gain of 10 to the 42-yard line. It's going to be shy of the 1st down, needs to get to the 37. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 for the Bulldogs from the Merritt Island 42. Quickly moving first quarter, under 3 minutes to go, against 7-0 for Merritt Island. Mike Short is barking in the plays. So a big play for St. Cloud if they want to keep this drive going. They're pretty much out of field goal range. 3rd and 5 from the 42. Latier will fake it to Dalton. Looking near side, little pass complete, and it goes to Sullivan. And Owen Sullivan, the junior tight end, he is a big guy, 6'4", 210, great physique. Oh, we got another penalty flag down. So I guess we're going to have to look for flags on every play. It's another holding penalty on St. Cloud. So 2 holding penalties in 2 plays for St. Cloud, and that is just killing this drive. They still will have it with a 3rd down, but they got back into Merritt Island territory. Now they're going to be pushed back once again into their own territory. So they have to get to the 37. They're at their own 48. So once again, it's going to be a 3rd down and 15 from their own 48-yard line. Bulldogs trying to get the play in. So Cameron Dalton's going to check out, and Michael Kyler is going to check in. Now it looks like a fire drill. Teams are running all over. Players are running all over the place. So Kyler in the slot to the left, Taylor to the right, along with Freeman. 3rd down and 15 for St. Cloud from their own 48. And we got a penalty flag. And what do we got? We got a delay. Now, I do want to point out, and Zach Clark was very good about pointing this out last week, we do have a actual visual clock in both end zones. So now it's up to the tier to gauge that clock and eyeball it and make sure that the delay game does not happen. But it happened there. 3rd down and 20 for the Bulldogs from their own 43. We got motion near side, lining up as Kyler. Back to pass is Latier being pursued. He has to get rid of it. I'll tell you, he overshot it. If it was down a little lower, Miami Coughlin would have picked it off, and he might have had some green grass in front of him. So Latier getting rid of the ball, almost threw it a little bit too low. This will be a punting situation for St. Cloud, and again, Bryce Williams does a lot for this team. He's a starting wide receiver. He also plays some defense, and he's also the team's punter. So Williams standing on his own 32-yard line, 2 men back deep for Merritt Island, including the dangerous Kamar Fielder. He returned a punt last week of about 95 yards for a TD against Palm Bay. Also back deep is Keith Hamilton. Well, we got another whistle. Just when I thought this first quarter was going by pretty quick, we're going to be slowed down. So we got a timeout for St. Cloud. Why don't we take a break? It is 7-0, Merritt Island, 2:24 to go in the first quarter. You're watching the high school football game of the week on Space Coast Daily. All right, welcome back. So 4th down play coming up, punting situation for St. Cloud. Again, Bryce Williams standing on his own 32. Not much of a rush. Gets it off. It's kind of a wobbler. This one might go out of bounds. Well, it won't. Or it might. Wow, that's a pretty good punt to about the 12-yard line. Let me calculate the yardage on that punt. It is approximately, 37 yards. So nice punt there by Bryce Williams, not allowing Merritt Island to return the kick. So the Mustangs will go back on offense. They have had the ball for the bulk of this first quarter, again leading 7-0 with 2:10 to go in the first. So back to the field for the Mustangs is their quarterback, Kevin Verpale. Verpale overall passing this year, 76 for 120, 63% completion percentage, 1,129 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. So first down from the 11 for the Mustangs. And the handoff around the left side goes to Adams. Got a penalty flag down. This might be holding as he gets up to the 21-yard line. So that would have been a gain of about 7, but I think it's coming back. Got Joe Hutton, our referee tonight, and what do you know? We got another holding penalty. Last week we were here, and I don't recall that many holding penalties, but this is a different week, and both teams being plagued by holding. So the Mustangs will be backed up. So a little bit of a sloppy first quarter when it comes to the penalties. Last year in this game, which was over in St. Cloud, Merritt Island had 16 penalties for 91 yards. St. Cloud had 7 for 58, which is a little bit better. So first down from the 7. So call 1st and 15 for Merritt Island from their own 7-yard line. Shotgun Verpale, 2 receivers to the right. We got a motion. And let's see, inside handoff, and not much there, maybe a couple of yards. And it went to Kamar Fielder. So Fielder maybe gets a yard, so it'll be 2nd down and 14 coming up. Again, no huddle offense, so got to stay on the fast break here. No huddle offense, but again, you run the no huddle, but sometimes you just stand out there without huddling. All right, Femi Howard split out far to the right. We got Terrius Robinson, always a threat. He's got 20 catches for the year. 2nd and 14. Robinson with some motion. And we got another penalty flag. Oh, my goodness. Flag Day is in May. This is September. So we got a full start of the Mustangs.
That's going to turn into a half the distance to the goal.
So that's going to be half the distance to the goal. So Merritt Island is backed up. St. Cloud has been backed up with some of their penalties. Now Merritt Island really has to be careful. For one thing, you can't have a holding in the end zone or it's a safety. And now it's second down. They have to get to the 22, so second down at about 18. Jarvis Howell, who is a star on defense, plays a little bit of offense. He's back in. He wears 0 for the Mustangs. Elaine Adams is the deep man of the end zone. Verpale out of the end zone, shotgun. And he will hand it off to Adams up the middle. And Adams gets a little bit of room, but good pursuit by St. Cloud defense. Coming off the pile is a defensive tackle, Milton Caraballo. Let's look at the defense for St. Cloud. Khalil Davis and Hank Williams. There's a favorite country name. Khalil Davis and Hank Williams, the 2 defensive ends. Milton Caraballo and Steve Stevens, the 2 defensive tackles. 2 corners are Jaden Irons and Jeremiah Barnes. They go with 3 safeties. Bryce Williams, Joel Cruz, and Zeus Howard. Third down and a taxi ride. 20 seconds to go. First quarter. Got motion near side for Pale. Out of his own end zone. Will hand it off. It goes to Adams. And he's just trying to give his punter, who's probably going to be Liam Miller. Again, Miller and Verpale have alternated on punts this year. Miller's done it a little bit more often. Well, that's going to be the final play of the first quarter. So we're going to switch sides of the field. And why don't we take a break? It is 7-0 Merritt Island. You're watching the high school football game of the week on Space Coast Daily.
The Merritt Island High School alumni are welcome.
All right, welcome back to the high school football game of the week. Again, Mustang Field, Merritt Island High School. J.C. Meyerholtz with you for Space Coast Daily. It's 7-0 Merritt Island as we're about to begin the second quarter, and Liam Miller is going to punt from very deep in his own end zone. He has to be careful not to step back or it's a safety. But Miller's got a booming leg, and we'll see how far he can send this. One man is back for St. Cloud. Signals being called. Are we going to get another flag? Yes, we are. Dirty laundry on the field. Where's that detergent? Offside, St. Cloud. Okay. Well, now Liam Miller will have a little bit more room to manipulate from the end zone. So St. Cloud is one man back deep. It is Bryce Williams. So St. Cloud, barring something unforeseen, should get pretty good field position. Miller with the left foot gets it off. It's a pretty short kick. Williams is not going to go anywhere near it. Now it's going to take a good Merritt Island bounce out to the 43-yard line. So call that really a pretty good kick by Miller with the help of about a 10-yard roll, about 39 yards, no return. And St. Cloud will get a good field position. Again, trailing 7-0, trying to tie this game up. Again, Jeremy Latier is going to be the quarterback. Cameron Dalton in the backfield. Michael Kyler will spell it from time to time. The receivers will go in and out. You got Stacy Taylor, Santiago Ochoa, Bryce Williams, and Gunnar Freeman. The center is Wade Cordell. The 2 guards are Sean Eplin and Aiden Tolado. The 2 tackles are Danny Armakalov and Connor McIntyre. First down for St. Cloud from the Merritt Island 44. We got motion far side Williams. Hand off Dalton around the right side. And Dalton will be spun down and taken down by Jarvis Howell. That is no surprise. Howell is the team's leading tackler. He's got 52 on the year. Had another monster game last week. He was the co-leader in tackles last week with Ethan Holt. He had 16. So last week he had about a third of the tackles that he's had all year. So if you're St. Cloud, you want to stay away from number 0. A gain of 1 in that last play by Dalton. It'll be 2nd and 9 for St. Cloud for the Merritt Island 43. Shotgun Latier, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Latier will roll out to the left. He throws it. He completes it up to the 38-yard line. With the catch is Williams. And Williams gets out of bounds. He's going to be shy of the first down. They'll gain 8 to the 35, and this will bring up a third down and call 2. So Williams with a catch, his second of the night, his 12th of the season.
Third down and 3. Come on, Mustangs. Let's make some noise because
Again, Mike Short getting the play in from the sideline. Again, in his second year as head coach of St. Cloud. He was actually here for 3 years. About 25 years ago, left, and then he has come back. 3rd and 2 from the 36. Hand off to Dalton, and Dalton is spun down, and you know what? He'll have the first down. He needs to get 2, and he got 3, so St. Cloud will keep this drive alive. It'll be first down for the Bulldogs. Check in defensively for Merritt Island, number 95, Jaden Thomas. He is only a freshman. So Merritt Island, or actually Dylan Bush will come in for St. Cloud. So Owen Sullivan doesn't get much of a break, but the backup tight end is Dylan Bush, number 84. It'll be a first down from the 32. Handoff Dalton up the middle, trying to break through a sea of black. And he'll gain about 1 to the 32-yard line. That'll bring up a second down and 9. Good defensively for Merritt Island. They go with the 2 defensive ends, Nathan Schaefer and Miami Coughlin, and then Caden Chmielewski and Alex Schaefer. Alex is the older brother of Nathan at defensive tackle. 2nd and 9, rolling out Latier. Throws it. It's complete. Owen Sullivan checked out for 1 play. He's back in. He makes the catch. And he gets up to the 26. And that'll bring up a third down. So he gained about 6. And that'll be third down and about 4. So 3rd and 4 for St. Cloud from the Merritt Island 27. Against 7-0 Merritt Island, we've got 9:15 to go in the first quarter. Got a beautiful night here for football. A little bit of a breeze is blowing. I think we're going to be dry tonight. The lights taking effect. Great place to be. Shotgun, Latier. 3rd and 4 from the 27. Latier back to pass. Throws it. And it's batted down. It is batted down by number 90, Miami Coughlin. Well, if they kick a field goal here, it's going to be a pretty long one. Let's see if they just decide to go for it on 4th down and 4. Their field goal kicker is Dave Velez Santos. But no Santos on the field. They will simply go for it on 4th down and 4. We got another whistle. And it looks like we had a timeout of the field. I'm assuming, it's going to be Merritt Island on the timeout. Why don't we take a quick timeout? It's 7-0 Merritt Island, 8:57 to go in the first half. You're watching the high school football game of the week at Space Coast Daily. All right, 8:57 to go in the first half. Good ball game so far, although a little bit sloppy with the penalties. 7-0 Merritt Island, and St. Cloud is going for it on a 4th down and 4 from the Merritt Island 26. Latier, shotgun with Dalton right behind him. And it'll be a fake pitch. It'll be an inside handoff, and that'll be a first down. Inside handoff went to number 3, Stacy Taylor. So it was a fake to Dalton, number 27. Taylor got it, and Taylor picked up about 9 yards. So St. Cloud, with their deepest penetration of the night so far, will be a first down from the Merritt Island 19-yard line. So they need to get to the 9 to get a first down. They need 19 for the touchdown. First down for the 19. Latier will hand it off to Dalton up the middle. And Dalton, pretty good yardage, trying to get to the 15-yard line, and he'll go down. He'll gain about 5. get the official counter in a minute as they have to spot the ball. Number 8 for Merritt Island is going to check into the game. That is Deshaun Thomas, who plays mostly on offense, but he's going to play some defense here. So, second down and called about 4 from inside the 15. Back to pass Latier. He's looking toward the end zone. It's called at the 5-yard line, and in the end zone, touchdown. It is Owen Sullivan with a touchdown, called at about a 13-yard hookup from Latier to Sullivan. And St. Cloud is an extra point away from tying this game. So Latier to Sullivan on the 13-yard TD. It comes with 7:45 to go in the first half. So for Latier, his 12th touchdown of the year against 3 interceptions. That is a great percentage, or a great ratio, 4-1. All right, on for the extra point is Esteban Melendez. He is 18 for 20 on extra points. So you've got Velez Santos, who's probably going to kick off, but they got a second kicker for shorter things, and that's Esteban Melendez. The kick is up. It looks good, and it is good. So timeout of the field, 7:45 to go in the first half. We're tied at 7. We'll be back. You're watching the high school football game of the week on Space Coast Daily. All right, welcome back. Here comes the St. Cloud kickoff. We're tied at 7. 7:45 to go in the first half. And it is 89 kicking off. And that is Velez Santos. This one will be returned from the 3-yard line. This is Fielder. Up to 20. We got a penalty flag down. Fielder to the 33-yard line. That would be a return of 30. And now we got another flag down. So there are 2 flags on the field, and I'm guessing this will probably be against Merritt Island, mostly on the kickoffs. It's the team receiving the ball. Again, Joe Hutton is our referee, and I'll tell you, when Joe Hutton talks, people listen. Sometimes you have to listen for a while. Let's see what Hutton decides on here. So there'll only be 1 penalty against Merritt Island, not 2. Hutton is still seeking out the situation here. So there was an early flag on the kickoff, and then when the play was over, another flag came flying in. And got a block in the back. Oh, we got offsetting penalties. So face mask St. Cloud, block in the back, Merritt Island on the kickoff. So you know what? We'll just do a do-over here. So Velez Santos will kick off once again. And he'll kick off from the 40-yard line. All that for naught. So Kamar Fielder, the guy on the far side of the field, wearing number 6, back to receive this kickoff. And the one on the near side is Keith Hamilton. So they're standing inside the 5-yard line. So Velez Santos, right-footed kicker, puts his toe into it. This one will be returned right at the goal line. This is Hamilton. 15, 20, 25, 30. 35, still on his feet, and that'll be a 37-yard return for Keith Hamilton as he brings it to the 37 from the goal line, and Merritt Island will have pretty good field position, first down from their own 37. Again, resetting their offensive line. The center is Joey Sonnenberg. The 2 tackles are Andrew Metcalf and Cameron Clements. The 2 guards are Alex Schaefer and Kevin Martinez Fontañez. Deshaun Thomas amongst the receivers, along with Dontarius Robinson, Kamar Fielder, Keith Hamilton, Femi Howard, and Drew Sarver. They won't be on the field at the same time, but 3 of them will be. And fake handoff, throw up the middle. It's intercepted by St. Cloud. The pass was intended for Robinson, and it was picked off by number 1, Jaden Irons. So each team has an interception tonight, and St. Cloud will go right back to work, tied at 7:17 to go in this first half. So each team with a turnover. In fact, St. Cloud has 2 turnovers, one on a fumble, one on an interception, and that's the first Merritt Island turnover of the night. So back to work will go Jeremiah Latier. Again, just a sophomore. Again, 17 for 33 last week, 257 yards against Osceola, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Again, St. Cloud gave up 44 points, but 21 of them, 2 were on a pick 6, and another one was on a scoop and score and a fumble. All right, handoff goes to Dalton. So Dalton, left side, he'll gain maybe 2 up to the 44-yard line. So 7:05 to go in the first half. I think both teams have used a timeout. So I think both teams have 2 timeouts remaining in this last 7 minutes. Coming up on a water break probably here pretty soon. So gain of 2 in that last play. And for St. Cloud, it'll be a 2nd down and 8 from their own 44. 2 receivers left in motion. We've got Kyler rolling out Latier. He throws it. And it's caught, I believe, in a crowd. What a catch. Owen Sullivan in double coverage, catching that ball at the 43-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 15. And St. Cloud has a first down. So what a catch by Owen Sullivan. I'll tell you, this young man might have a bright future. He's only a junior. 6'4", 210. And when you're a tight end, it's always nice when you can catch those balls in between 2 defenders, and nicely done there. Again, no huddle for both teams. It'll be a first down for St. Cloud from the Merritt Island 43. Latier looking into a 4-man line. We got motion near side Williams. Handoff to Alton. We got a flag down, and this is probably going to go against St. Cloud. Might be an illegal motion. We'll double check. Again, Joe Hutton is slowly making the call. It's going to be a false start on St. Cloud. So the penalties that we saw in the first half, we continue to see, or in the first quarter, we continue to see here in the second quarter. So St. Cloud will be backed up. They haven't marked off the penalty yet. I want to talk a little bit about Mike Short. What a class guy, head coach, St. Cloud in his second year. So he coached for 3 years from 2009 to 2011. Then he went up to Orange County. We'll keep it here on the exchange. I think we got a water break, 6:06 to go. But I want to talk about Mike Short. What a football life he has lived. So for 3 years, he was the coach at St. Cloud from 2009 to 2011. He then moved to Orange County, where he had various jobs, including with East River for 5 years, and also West Orange, and I think one other place. He then moved to Texas for about a year, 2020, and then he moved back to St. Cloud in 2021, and again in his second stint with the Bulldog program. He is in his second year. So overall, if you include the years from 25 years ago, or actually not 25, 15 years ago, he's in his 5th year as the head coach. He's originally from Indiana. He is a graduate of Ball State, where he played 1 year of football. And when I think about Ball State, they have a famous graduate. So maybe Coach Short is the second most famous graduate. The other one, and he was recently in the news yesterday, that would be David Letterman. He went to Ball State. We'll leave that alone, but just wanted to mention that. All right, second down play. Second down play for St. Cloud. Latier on the shotgun. Latier back to pass, throws, and it's incomplete. He overshot his receiver, Stacy Taylor. So incomplete. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9. At the corners for Merritt Island, we got Zachary Olson and Devontae Peterson. The 3 linebackers are William Bellotti, also Jarvis Howell, and Jonas Walters. The safeties are Kamar Fielder, along with Brandon Pouncey, who will check at time to time, and also one of my favorite names, Roman Mingo, who could be an impact player for Merritt Island defensively. Sometimes shows up and does some good things. All right, 3rd down and 9 for St. Cloud from the Merritt Island 42. Shotgun Latier, 2 receivers left. Back to base, Latier throws over the middle. It's caught by Taylor. Big gain up to the 24-yard line. So call that a gain of about 19. Latier to Taylor right over the middle. And a 1st down for St. Cloud. Again, we're tied at 7, 5:43 to go in the first half, and the Bulldogs trying to take their first lead of the night. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. 1st down play from the 23. Back to pass, Latier throws. It's complete. Up to the 19. There's a big move up to the 18 and up to about the 10-yard line, and that will be a gain of about 13. The ball caught once again by Stacy Taylor. So the Bulldogs are on the move. They're going to have a 1st down and goal inside the 10-yard line. Cameron Clements is checking in defensively for Merritt Island. I think we're going to get our water break here. We'll double check here. Again, Joe Hutton is our official. He doesn't make too many signals. So anyway, we'll take a break. 5:19 to go in the first half. We're tied at 7. You're watching the high school football game of the week on Space Coast Daily. All right, welcome back to Mustang Field. Again, JC Miles with you, SpaceCoastDaily.com, along with my lovely executive producer, Beth York, and cameraman, Nate Quinter. Glad to have them aboard. And back to work goes St. Cloud. It'll be a 1st and goal from the 9. So a good chance for the Bulldogs to, if they don't get the touchdown, they could take the lead with a field goal. So Latier shotgun, 1st and goal for the 9. Dalton is right behind Latier, and he'll get it up the middle. And he is stuffed. He might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Actually, you know what? It looks like they're going to give him 1 yard to the 8-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 8. I want to thank our sponsors, Urban Automotive, Health First, All Points, also for, Forever Young of Merritt Island, and Eastern Florida State, known as the Titans. Thanks so much for making these games of the week possible. We'll talk about the other 2 games that we're covering tonight when we get a chance. It'll be 2nd and goal for St. Cloud from the 8. Double receivers to the left. Again, it's Dalton right behind Latier. We got motion near side. Latier throws it to the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Owen Sullivan, his 2nd touchdown reception of the night, and St. Cloud takes their first lead. Comes with 4:23 to go in the first half.
Again, our halftime festivities are going to be crowning Mr. and Mrs.
So again, Latier to Sullivan. 8-yard touchdown hookup. So the previous one was 13 yards. This one is 8 yards. On for the extra point, Esteban Melendez, right-footed kicker. Kick is up, line drive, kick is good. Timeout of the field, 4:23 to go in the first half. St. Cloud has taken their first lead. They lead at 14-7. We'll take a break and be back. Once again, you're watching the high school football game of the week on Space Coast Daily. All right, we're back for the St. Cloud kickoff. The Bulldogs have taken a 14-7 lead over Merritt Island. Still plenty of time to go in this first half, 4:23. I think Merritt Island has 2 of their timeouts remaining. Here is Velez Santos for the kickoff. This one will be returned. Taken at the 10-yard line. That is Fielder. Up to 20, the 25, and he is given a belt. So about a 15-yard return, and man, he went down. That was that was number 18. That was Joel Cruz getting a pop in on Fielder. So Merritt Island will have pretty good field position. It'll be a first down from their own 26. Again, I think they got 2 timeouts remaining, 4:16 to go in this first half. Again, St. Cloud coming in with a record of 3-1, and Merritt Island at 2-2. Again, the Bulldogs won their first 3 games convincingly over Freedom, Pine Ridge, and Poinciana before losing convincingly 44-7 Osceola last week. And again, Merritt Island has traded wins and losses. They lost to Cocoa and DeLand, but they beat Melbourne and Palm Bay. First down, 26-yard line, back to pass for Pale. This one is batted up in the air, but even though it was high in the air, way away from everybody, so it's simply an incomplete pass. That ball is very much high in the air, but too far for anybody really to catch it. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs from their own 26. Clock stopped, 4:11 to go. Got a little bit of a breeze blowing at about 5 miles per hour. So a really comfortable night. And this is September 19th, so we're almost into October. 2nd and 10. Handoff Adams up the middle. And he'll gain some. Give him a gain of 2 to the 28. That'll bring up a 2nd down, or actually a 3rd down and 8. Deshaun Reese with another tackle. Again, he leads the team in tackles this year with 18. So 3rd down and 8 for Merritt Island. Oh, we got a little bit of jumping. Oh, we got a penalty flag. How about that? We've had a bunch of those. It'll be offsides on St. Cloud. So they just literally jumped offside. And now Merritt Island will be a little bit easier here to try and get the first. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Mustangs from the 33. Get Denver Pale, their quarterback. He's a junior, so he's got 1 more year remaining. 3rd and 4. Fake handoff Adams, ball caught, first down. Little screen pass goes to number 8, Deshaun Thomas. So Thomas, his first catch of the night. That's his 17th catch of the year. He's got 3 touchdowns on the year. So Mustangs pick up, I think this is their first down of the 2nd quarter. They picked up a couple in the 1st quarter. Clock stopped, 3:19 to go. Again, 14-7, St. Cloud. First down for the 42. Handoff Adams right on the left side. And he'll gain, it looks like about 9. Just shy of the first down. He'll gain 9 right to midfield. Again, no huddle. Repale lining things up. Alex Hernandez is spelling Adams in the backfield. 2nd and 1 from midfield. And the give goes to, it's a rollout by Verpale. Being pursued. He'll have the first down and more. And he goes down. He's driven out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So call it a gain of 8. So Verpale with a nice fake to Alex Hernandez, who is the backup to Adams. I thought maybe he'd get the ball, but it was a fake. And Verpale, who really doesn't run that much. Again, he had a 10-yard touchdown run last week against Palm Bay, and that was a run of about 7. He has only 27 net yards on his runs coming in tonight. I mean, tonight he's already got about 15. First down for the Mustangs from the St. Cloud 44. Verpale looking into a 3-man line. Motion Sarver. And Verpale will take it himself out of the gun, and they'll gain about 2 up to the 42-yard line. Looks like we got a timeout.
4-yard gain.
And let's see if it is a timeout. Oh, we got a face mask. We got a penalty. No timeout. Penalty. Face mask on St. Cloud. That really hurts the Bulldogs. So that'll be an automatic first down, and Merritt Island getting a little bit deeper into Bulldog territory. It'll be the 37. So Merritt Island, for them, it would be perfect if they take their time a little bit, get the tying score, and not give St. Cloud any time to try and respond. Again, Merritt Island will get the ball. They won the toss at the opening kickoff, and they deferred. Shotgun. And fake handoff. It's for Pale once again, keeping it, and maybe he gains a yard. Gets up to the 37. Actually, it looks like no gain in the play. Third down, called about 3. Again, no time for the announcer to rest. Got double receivers, Sarver, Robinson on the far side, Thomas on the near side. Third down and 3. Handoff up the middle. It's Monroe. First down and more. 30 and to the 28-yard line. So welcome back, Rashawn Monroe, who missed the game last week, and he gains about 7 to keep this drive going. First down for Merritt Island. Alex Hernandez back in the lineup, and he actually checks in for Monroe. So Lane Adams, the first string running back, who doesn't get much of a break, is getting a few breaks tonight. Hand over the middle. Oh, do we have another penalty flag, or we got a timeout? Let's see. Got kind of a late hit here. I don't think it was on purpose. And again, Joe Hutton. Again, when Joe Hutton talks, people listen. Sometimes Joe doesn't give the information right away. Let's see what he decides here. And here he comes. Offside, St. Cloud. Boy, how many offsides have they had tonight? Way too many. So the always rare 1st and 5 for Merritt Island from the St. Cloud 25. Clock is back running, 1:35 to go, and I think Merritt Island again has 2 timeouts, so they're in a good spot here. If they have to call a timeout, they can do it. They're really in no hurry. 1:25 to go. They want to whittle down that clock and at least get a field goal, if not a touchdown here. So 1st and 5 from the St. Cloud 25. Hernandez beside him. Handoff Hernandez up the middle. And Alex will get about 3 up to the 22-yard line. Clock running with 1:07 to go. And this will bring up a 2nd down and 2. So exactly 1 minute to go in the first half. So Merritt Island is whittling down that clock. Doing it pretty well here, but the next play is going to be important. 2nd down and 3 from the 22. Handoff Adams up the middle. Adams big hole. Stops shy of the 15 to about the 17, so he'll gain about 4. He will have enough for the first down, which means they will momentarily stop the clock to move the sticks. 39 seconds to go. Well, again, if Merritt Island has 2 timeouts, it might be a good time to use it here. Clock running, a half a minute to go. So first down from the 17. Propale looking left into the end zone. And it's incomplete. Incomplete. Incomplete intended for Robinson. Good coverage there by St. Cloud. Back deep was Jaden Irons. So clock stopped with 21 seconds to go. And again, it'll be a 2nd down from the 17. They have to get to the 8 for the first. So call it a 2nd and about 9. Shotgun for Pale. Adams alongside of him. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. For Pale throws. It's complete to Solver. That's going to be shy of the first down. And now Merritt Island is going to have to use one of their timeouts. They'll use it here with 17 seconds to go in the first half. We'll keep it here. Oh, we got a penalty. So I guess the timeout was not used. So penalty, Merritt Island, holding penalty. So it's been a penalty-infested first half for both teams. Again, head coach Mike Short and head coach Tyler Murray will have to assess things at halftime. We'll keep it here. I do want to tell you, for Merritt Island, the last time we were here was last week. It was Military Appreciation tonight. Well, tonight's another big night. It is homecoming. So at the halftime mark, we'll show you all the festivities of homecoming, the crowning of the king and queen. We'll get the important names for that. Then, of course, our second half. Again, I want to remind you, you could switch over if you want. O'Galley and Cocoa is one of the games we're doing tonight. And also, we're doing the astronaut game. So let's check in here. Oh, Holy Trinity and astronaut. Holy Trinity leading 21-0. Another Orville-Suisun game. Again, we're very happy to have Orville back after some health problems. And I hear the professor, Steve Wilson, is going to make his season debut next week. Coco and O'Galley. Look at that. O'Galley 12, Coco 7. So again, we got our other team on the Coco O'Galley game. So you can check that out. Zane and his partner doing that game. All right, 17 seconds to go. Shotgun Verpale. They have to get to the 17. So second down and call it about 8. Back to pass Verpale. He's looking. He's going to run it up the middle. 20, 15, 10, 5. And shy of the end zone, the 3-yard line. They're going to have to quickly line up. They'll probably just use a timeout because I think they got 2 timeouts remaining. They're going to set up the ball. St. Cloud is frantically trying to send in some subs defensively. Well, 3 seconds to go, and Verpale, he spikes the ball. I think Merritt Island had at least 1 timeout. I don't know why they didn't use it. 2 seconds to go, and now they're going to bring on Leah Miller. I don't think that play was well orchestrated there by Coach Murray. That'd be critical. It's not the NFL. It's high school football, but just an observation. So Leah Miller, a very good kicker, but Merritt Island has to be very disappointed, and St. Cloud has to be elated that at most they're going to give up 3 points here. And this is more or less like an extra point for Miller. Spot is the 10, Verpale the holder, and Miller the left-footed kicker. Should be able to drill this through. Really not much wind. Signal's being called. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And that is halftime. Our halftime score, St. Cloud 14 and Merritt Island 10. Again, we're going to keep the video on here because we're going to have all the homecoming festivities here at Merritt Island. So don't go anywhere, although if you want to check in on the Holy Trinity Astronaut game or the Coco O'Galley game, feel free, and 2 pretty good ball games going on there. Again, we're at halftime here at Mustang Field at Merritt Island. It is St. Cloud 14, Merritt Island 10. So we'll be back when the third quarter starts. You're watching the high school football game of the week at Space Coast Daily.
Red wire.
Alex.
He will be coming tonight's game.
Where did I put that?
Let's give the 2025 homecoming court a final round of
Oh,
applause
okay.
while we await the naming of this year's homecoming team. Tonight's SGA ceremony committee includes Abby Super, Abigail
Who is the king?
Don't know yet.
Oh. Oh.
and finally, the Omo Alcantara, the crowning of 2025 MVP. This year's homecoming team is Ryan Redwire.
His brother did it last year?
What was the last name? Ryan what?
Gregor.
Gregor?
Gregory. Gregoire.
I thought the first name was Ryan.
Ryan. Gregory.
Oh, Gregory. All right, thank you.
This year's homecoming team is Ruth
All right, we're back at Merritt Island High School for the start of the second half. I want to congratulate the homecoming king, Ryan Gregory, and the homecoming queen was Ruth Henderson, as it's homecoming tonight here at Merritt Island High. So far, though, the home team, though, is trailing it 14-10 at halftime. We'll go over the scoring here in a minute. Again, Merritt Island, they won the toss, deferred to the second half, so they will receive the kickoff, and here we go. This will be returned by Fielder. No, Monroe, actually. 20, 25, 30. Nice return by Monroe up to about the 33-yard line. So pull that about a 18-yard return, and Merritt Island will set up shop in pretty good field position. It'll be their own 33-yard line. So Merritt Island led at the end of the first quarter, 7-0 on a first quarter run by Monroe, 9 yards. And then Latier with the first of 2 touchdown passes to Sullivan, 7:40 mark, 4:23 mark, 13 yards, and then 8 yards. And then Miller for Merritt Island closing out the first half with a 20-yard field goal. So 14-10 St. Cloud. Motion far side Sarver. And the handoff goes up the middle to Adams. So Adams gets up to about the 36-yard line. He'll gain about 4, and that'll bring up second down at 6. I'll tell you, Adams was he was spelled a little bit in that first half. So second down and 4 from the 36. Pass is going to be caught by Sarver, and he's going to be taken down at about the 36-yard line. Oh, no, we got another penalty flag. The penalty-infested first half is carried over to the second half, and this is going to come back. Ineligible man downfield. It might have been Sarver who caught the ball, or it might not have been. But in any event, that negates the big gain, and back to the 37-yard line will go Merritt Island. Some of the stats for the first half for St. Cloud. Latier was 9 for 13, 103 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dalton with 11 carries, 33 yards. Sullivan, 4 catches for 42 yards, including the St. Cloud touchdowns. We'll take a look at Merritt Island here in a minute. And the handoff, not much there, as the man is dropped at the 29-yard line. That'll be a loss of about 3. Now it's going to be third down. They have to get to the 42, so it's going to be third down and about 13. For Merritt Island, Verpale was 1 for 5 passing, 8 yards, but Verpale rushing, 6 carries, 35 yards. You know, he only had 27 yards cumulative rushing through the first 4 games, and he gets 35 in this game. Adams rushing was 10 carries, 50 yards. So third down play. Oh, jumping the gun again. I think it was St. Cloud, and let's see, it'll be offside St. Cloud. That is at least their third offside penalty of the game. And it carries over to the second half. Merritt Island still has a ways to go to get the first down. The line of scrimmage to 34, so it's going to be third down and 8 from their own 34. Again, St. Cloud 14 and Merritt Island 10 with 10:20 to go in the third quarter. Howard is split out to the right with Sarver in the slot. 2 receivers out to the left. Robinson with Thomas in the slot. So again, third down play for the 34. Verpale back to pass. Flushed out of the pocket. He'll run it up the middle, and he'll get a nice gain, but he's going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down. So he'll gain about 5, but he needed about 7. And that's going to bring up a fourth down and 2. And if you're Tyler Murray, do you go for this? Because you're pretty deep in your own territory, their own 40-yard line, and the punter is not out there. So this will be a fourth down and 2. Motion far side. Sarver. I'll tell you, the clocks are not working in the end zone. What's going on? It's back to 0-0. So I guess we're having some clock problems. So somebody donated the clocks, and they're not functioning. All right, Sarver. So the official must be keeping it on the field as far as the 25-second clock. Fourth down and 2, and we got a timeout. It's going to be a timeout in Merritt Island. So they could not get on the right page. And with a fourth down and 2, we'll keep it out here. 4th and 2 for the 40. I want to recognize our sponsors. Erdman Automotive. They sponsor the Red Zone. Also, our thanks to Health First, All Points, also Forever Young of Merritt Island, and also Eastern Florida State University, the Titans. Want to thank them for their sponsorship as well. Well, again, we got two other games that we're streaming tonight here at Space Coast Daily. O'Galley Cocoa, and O'Galley, last check, was winning by about 5 points. And then Trinity was all over Astronaut. It was Trinity 21, Astronaut nothing. So we'll get some try and get some updates in those two games. But we got our two other crews, including the legendary Orville Susan. And that's where Zach Clark, who's usually here with me, but Zach Clark is doing the Astronaut game against Holy Trinity. Then we got our other crew on the O'Galley Cocoa game. All right, well, Merritt Island was contemplating going for it, but now they will punt. And it's going to be Verpale punting. This will be his 5th punt of the year. He stands at his own 25. He gets it off. Pretty short kick, and this one's going to go out of bounds. So kind of shanked it out of bounds. That's going to be maybe about a 20-yard kick. And St. Cloud up 14-10 with 9:04 to go in the third quarter. We'll get some very good field position. We'll see where they spot the ball. Looking ahead to next week, Merritt Island has played all home games except for one this year, but they're going to start being road warriors beginning next week. They're going to travel up to Jacksonville for a rematch with Ed White, and if I remember right, Ed White defeated them last year here at Merritt Island. St. Cloud is going to have a tough game at home against Lake Nona. That is a district opponent for them, so that'll be a big game for them. So first half for St. Cloud from their own 47. Motion near side, hand off the middle. It's Dalton, and Dalton will fall forward. He'll gain 8, and that'll bring up a second down and 2. Again, Dalton was held to 11 carries for 33 yards, just a 3-yard average, but good run there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Again, no huddle offense. St. Cloud lining things up. Again, Jeremiah Latier, their sophomore quarterback. And once again, handoff to Dalton, and he'll easily have the first down. He got 2 yards, or he needed 2 yards. Instead, he got about 7. And the Bulldogs up 14-10 will keep this drive alive as they're inside the Merritt Island 40-yard line. Yeah, Jeremy Latier is the quarterback. Again, Cameron Dalton in the backfield. He'll be interchanged with Michael Kyler. In fact, Kyler checks in for Dalton. He is right beside Latier. First down for St. Cloud from the Merritt Island 37. Back to pass. Latier has some time. Looking over the middle, deep to Sullivan. Touchdown. The third hookup tonight from Latier to Sullivan. You can't leave the big guy open. Number 88, Owen Sullivan. Third touchdown reception on the third touchdown pass by Jeremy Latier. And I'll tell you, Sullivan was wide open. Perfect pass by Latier. And that will be about a 45-yard pass. And St. Cloud adds to their lead. It is now 20-10 with the extra point coming up. So Melendez will be on for the extra point. Signals being called. Melendez wears number 19. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout of the field, 8:07 to go in the third quarter, and St. Cloud trying to take charge of this ball game. They lead at 21-10 over Merritt Island. We'll pause and be back. This is the high school football game of the week on Space Coast Daily.
All right.
All right, St. Cloud has taken they've extended their lead to 21-10 as Owen Sullivan, who had just 2 touchdown receptions, or actually just had 1 touchdown reception coming in, has 3 tonight, and Jeremy Latier has 3 touchdown passes. Kind of a false start of the kickoff, no penalty though. So Kicking off is Velez Santos. Back deep, we've got Fielder and Monroe. Monroe on the far side, Fielder on the near side. So Owen Sullivan is having himself quite a game. Short kick will be taken about the 7. This is Monroe up to the 20, 25-30, 35-40. Nice return by Rondé Monroe. Boy, did Merritt Island miss him last week, even though they won 39-8. I mean, he's a key part of the offense. We got a holding penalty on the kickoff, so good return by Monroe, but it's negated by the holding on the kickoff. That would have been about a 35-yard return, but Merritt Island will be backed up into their own territory. Again, a penalty-infested ball game so far. Again, Merritt Island last year had 16 penalties for 91 yards in the 26-23 overtime win over St. Cloud over in St. Cloud last year. Now, they had 19 first downs, and they ran 76 plays last year, but again, too many penalties, 16 for 91. Now, both teams are pretty much approaching double digits in penalties and triple digits in yards, the way this game is going. All right, Merritt Island with the first down from their own 21. Motion Sarver, handoff up the middle, and it goes to Adams. Bounce it out to the left. He'll get up to the 31-yard line. He's going to be about a yard shy of the first down, so that'll bring up a second down and 9. So Merritt Island not out of this game, but St. Cloud has the momentum. It's carried over from the end of the second quarter, even though Miller tacked on that field goal with no time left in the clock. But it took a little while for St. Cloud to get going, but they lead 21-10. Again, the Mustangs, this will be their next to last home game of the year. They're going to have O'Galley here in 2 weeks, and that's the end of the home schedule. Shotgun, play fake for Pale, looking deep down the far sideline. That's going to be incomplete. A little bit of a bump, but certainly nothing to cause a pass interference. The intended receiver was Dontarius Robinson.
In coverage for the Bulldogs is number 21, Zeus Howard.
21, Zeus Howard was back on coverage for Merritt Island. So with a name like Zeus, you can't go wrong, can you? Zeus. I mean, the big Z. All right, third down play. Handoff Monroe, and Monroe will be cut down. And let's see. Very close to the first down. It depends on where they spot it. Oh, he got the first down. So it's very interesting. You know, second down play, you go long. Third down play, you hand it off, you get the yard. That's a first down for the Mustangs. Clock running, 6:53 to go in the third quarter. Get 21-10 in favor of St. Cloud. Shotgun for Pale. First down play for the 33. Play fake for Pale. Throws it. It's complete. Diving catch at the 44-yard line. That'll be a gain of 11. That'll be another Merritt Island first down, and that was Drew Sarver with the reception. Nice diving, sprawling catch right near the near sideline. And do we have another? We have another penalty. Jeez, I can't look down for a moment because there might be a penalty out there. Oh boy, Merritt Island has to clean that up. That is about the third or fourth ineligible man downfield. I think with St. Cloud, there's been a bunch of offsides penalties for Merritt Island. Is people getting downfield too far. I mean, you gotta stop that. So big catch by Sarver, but it's nullified, and now it's first down, and it'll be a cab ride. Shotgun for Pale. Line of scrimmage, the 27. They have to get to the 43, so first down at about 16. Pass is caught up to 39. Trying to make a move is Thomas. He is cut down at about the 39-yard line. So gain about 9. That'll make this a little bit more manageable for the Mustangs. So it'll be second down and about 4. Deshaun Reese playing a good ball game for St. Cloud for the inside linebacker position. He made the tackle on that play. So second down and call it 4. From the Mustang 39, we got another penalty flag down. Play goes forward. That would be a first down. I get the feeling this is going to be on Merritt Island again. And Tyler Murray will jump out of his shoes. It's another ineligible man downfield. But we won't like this any better. Illegal motion on the Mustangs. And we're going to have a water break, and I think we will take a break here. So 5:37 to go third quarter, 21-10, St. Cloud. We'll be right back. This is the high school football game of the week on Space Coast Daily. For Merritt Island, they got to get to the 43. They're at the 33 or 34, so call it second down and 9. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Verpale has time, being flushed out of the pocket, rolling out to the right. Now he cuts it up the middle, and he will be sacked. I think that's the first sack of the night, and it's 44 getting in on the stop for St. Cloud.
Number 17, scrambled around.
Mateo Camarosana. That's quite a name. That'd be a good Scrabble name. Mateo Camarosana with the first sack of the night for St. Cloud against Verpale. Loss is back to the 29. So third down, call 14. Triple receivers right, 1 receiver left. Verpale out of the shotgun. Back to pass. He's looking over the middle, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Drew Sarver. Back deep defensively for St. Cloud was number 5, Bryce Williams. Bryce Williams, the guy who has 15 tackles on the year, that is second on the team for the Bulldogs. So Mustangs are going to have to punt. It was Kevin Verpale last time punting, but this time it'll be Liam Miller. Again, these two are pretty even on their punts this year. I think Miller's punted like 3 more times than Verpale. So it's kind of nice to have a backup punter in case one of them gets hurt. So Miller's standing on his own 13-yard line. And let's see, back deep for the Mustangs. Looks like Jaden Iron standing on his own 37. Signals being called, and it's Miller from his own 13. Snap is good and barely gets it off. Oh, not a bad kick, end over end, and Irons is not going to field this. Oh, look at that roll inside the 20-yard line. Let's see. I will call that about, and again I'm approximating, about a 52-yard punt by Liam Miller. He was helped out by a good 20-yard roll. So perfectly done by Miller. And not to say Cloud will have horrible field position, but they are going to start off from their own 18-yard line. Again, 4:22 to go in the third, 21-10 in favor of St. Cloud. We'll try and get some updates maybe on our next break. O'Galley and Coco, and again, Astronaut and Holy Trinity. Holy Trinity was winning by 3 touchdowns, and O'Galley was just a little bit ahead of Coco. Here we got down from the 18. Latier will pitch it. Oh, we got another penalty flag. Why not? That's been the trend of the night. I'm looking for Joe Hutton, the referee. Oh, there he is. Isolated. Okay, I guess there was no penalty. I thought there was. So it is still first down and 10 from the 18. 2 receivers out to the left, including Michael Kyler for the Bulldogs. Again, shotgun, Latier. Awaiting the snap, motion near side. Handoff up the middle, up to the 35. That is Cameron Dalton, a big run. He'll gain about 10, and that'll be a St. Cloud first down. Dalton, 33 yards at halftime, not too bad. You know, he might have a shot at getting over 100 yards. Again, Dalton doing a good job, 246 yards rushing in, so he's probably over the 300-yard mark cumulative for this year. First down play from the 28 for the Bulldogs. We got motion far side Williams. Handoff, fumble, but picked up quickly. And up the middle, up to about the 36-yard line before he's driven back. So with forward progress, he'll get to the 37-yard line. And not sure who had the ball, but it'll be a second down coming up. Jarvis Howell getting in another stop.
Also number 15.
Also 15, Ethan Holt getting into the stop as well. Well, those two are pretty much the two leading tacklers for Merritt Island this year. Second down and 2 from the 37. Latier shotgun. 2 receivers out to the right, but they'll go to Dalton again up the middle. And Dalton will barely get back to the line of scrimmage. So that's going to bring up a third down and about 2. Number 60, Alex Schaefer getting into the stop. Schaefer, one of a good handful of players who goes both ways. He's a defensive tackle on offense. He's actually a left guard. So it'll be third down and 2 for St. Cloud from their own 37. We're down to 2:35 to go in the third quarter. It's 21-10 St. Cloud. Again, Merritt Island led 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. And then St. Cloud scoring all 14 of their points in the second quarter. Miller with a field goal to end things in the second quarter for Merritt Island. There's a pitch play. It goes to number 3, and that is Stacy Kaler, and he is knocked down. Well shy of the first down. In fact, looks like he didn't gain anything. That's going to bring up a fourth down and 2. So I would think, actually it's going to be 4th and 1. Well, let's see. Interesting decision. Not the greatest field position, their own 37 to go for it on a fourth down, but you know what? They're going to go for it. A little bit of a gamble here. 4th and 1 from the 37. Now, maybe you try and draw them off sides. No, you do a quarterback sneak, and I think Latier got it. He's pushed back. But I think with forward progress, yep, he's got the first down as signaled by the referee, Joe Hutton. So a little bit of a gamble by St. Cloud in their own territory, but on the fourth down play, Latier picks up a yard, and they'll keep this drive going. So for the Bulldogs, it'll be a first down from their own 39-yard line. Again, St. Cloud 3-1 in the year, Merritt Island 2-2. Again, St. Cloud started off the year with 3 consecutive wins, but lost Osceola last week, so they're trying to get back on the winning track. And again, Merritt Island, big win over Palm Bay last week, 39-8. First down for the Bulldogs from their own 39. Play fake. Latier throws it, and it's going to be incomplete. It was intended for Bryce Williams, but good single coverage in that play by Kamar Fielder. So I'll bring up a second down and 10 for the Bulldogs from their own at 39. Yeah, the Bulldogs will have a big game next week, district play up at Lake Nona. And again, Merritt Island is going to go up to Jacksonville for a rematch with Ed White, who beat them on this field a year ago. So Merritt Island will hit the road for only the second time this year. And they've been doing a lot of home cooking, and I'll tell you that spread at halftime, excelente. Back to pass, Latier. He's looking. He throws over the middle. It's caught. And I'll tell you, they got to put something on Sullivan. He is having himself a great night. He's got 3 touchdown receptions from Latier, and he catches another one for a gain of about 7 up to the 46. So that sets up a third down and 3 for St. Cloud from their own 46-yard line. Well, I'll tell you, Sullivan is only a junior. I'll tell you, if he keeps getting better, he's going to be playing some college ball in a couple of years. I don't know if it'll be Division I. I mean, it looks like he's got Division I physique, 6'4", 210, and a junior, and he's probably still growing. I'll tell you, if he could have that halftime spread up here, he'd really grow pretty fast. Get another great job by the staff up here at Merritt Island. Little potato salad and cold cuts go very well on a Friday night. All right, third down and 3. Latier rolling out to the right. Here comes the rush ball, thrown and caught. Once again, it's Sullivan. They just cannot contain him. Is he Travis Kelsey or what? He's still on his feet. Oh, he is the big guy. He might be the next Travis Kelsey. He gets all the way down to the 31-yard line. That'll be a gain of 19. And, well, I'll tell you, Owen Sullivan having himself a game. So he has about 8 or 9 catches tonight. He had 11 for the year, 231 yards coming in. He's probably at least halfway past the 11.
All right, we want to meet the
All right, you know what? That's the end of the third quarter. We'll take a break. All St. Cloud so far. St. Cloud 21, Merritt Island 10. We'll pause. This is the high school football game of the week on Space Coast Daily. All right, we're back. 21-10 St. Cloud as they play Neil Diamond in the background. Good old Sweet Caroline in honor of Kennedy in the 60s. God bless Neil Diamond. He is retired. He's got Parkinson's. We really hope he's doing well. He is another American icon when it comes to the songwriting industry. And he just wrote some great songs. And, of course, Sweet Caroline right up there. Along with his first hit, Cherry Cherry, 1967. That's what put him on the map. Cherry Cherry Baby. All right, here we go. Latier on a first down play, hands it off. Bouncing to the outside of Dalton. Has a big gain to the 20, to the 15, and down to the 10-yard line. So Cameron Dalton, who had 33 yards at halftime, with that run is very close to getting over a 100-yard game. That would be a gain of about 20, and I'll tell you, if St. Cloud scores here, that might be too big of a deficit for Merritt Island to make up. It's 11 points now, and if they score a touchdown with the extra point, it would be 18. More than two scores when you're down in the fourth quarter, I mean, you got to have a lot of things go well for you. I mean, it can happen, but we shall see. Merritt Island here, if they can hold St. Cloud to a field goal, I think that will give them a little hope. It would just be a two-score game. They get a touchdown, it's a three-score game. So first down and goal from inside the 10. So they cannot get a first down, but they have a first and goal. Latier will hand it off. It goes to Dalton, and Dalton, we got a flag down. So Dalton didn't gain anything anyway, and I think this might be, well, I'm not going to speculate. Speculation definitely does not do me much good most of the time. Joe Hutton is holding it up. Again, when Joe Hutton talks, people listen. That goes back to the 70s, folks. E.F. Hutton, one of my favorite commercials growing up, more than 55 years ago. Face mask, Merritt Island. So St. Cloud will benefit from that. It'll be a first and goal. And it'll be placed down at the 5-yard line. So St. Cloud has a chance to possibly put this game away. Checking in defensively for Merritt Island, number 50, Cameron Clements. Ball's actually just inside the 5, about the 4.5. First and goal for St. Cloud from the 4.5. Once again, it's Dalton right beside Latier. Single receivers right and left. Latier back to pass, throws into the end zone. Incomplete. Well, for once he wasn't looking for Sullivan. He was looking for the backup tight end, Dylan Bush. I'll tell you, good to see Dylan. Zeke. So I'll bring up a second down and goal. Looks like Bush is checked out of the game. Let's see if Sullivan is back in. It'll be two receivers out to the left, Williams and Freeman. Williams in the slot. Second and goal for St. Cloud from the 5. Again, it's Dalton right behind Latier. We got motion near side. And inside handoff goes to the outside. I think we got a flag down. Let me see. Getting into the end zone and short of the end zone. I thought I saw a flag, but maybe not. All right, so that was Taylor being stopped shy of the goal line. Oh, you know what? There was a penalty. I thought I saw some yellow flying up in my peripheral vision. So this will go against St. Cloud. They'll be backed up to the 9. And that's going to bring up a second down. So not a death nail for St. Cloud trying to extend their lead, but they are backed up to the 9. Second and goal from the 9 as Jeremy Latier looks over to his head coach. And that is Mike Short. Second and goal from the 9. Latier calling signals. And what do we got? I think we got a timeout. What do we got? Mr. Hutt, what is it? False start on St. Cloud. So again, a lot of penalties in this game. Again, both teams are probably close to double digits in penalties and triple digits in yards. I mean, they're not knocking on the door of 10, both teams. I'd be surprised. I'll have to look at the penalties when I wake up tomorrow morning. All right, second and goal from the 15. Motion near side. Latier rolls out right, has time. He's looking. He gets rid of it. It's going to be incomplete. He was feeling the rush. And the rush was by 21. Jonas Walters, the outside linebacker. So Latier had to get rid of the ball. Just threw it away.
Second down conversion falls incomplete.
And that'll bring up a third and goal from the 14. So, you know, Merritt Island here has a really good chance of stopping St. Cloud and at least holding them to a field goal attempt.
All right, let's make some noise because
the PA announcer says, make some noise here. Well, the Merritt Island crowd seems kind of somber on homecoming. They're not getting the message, I guess. I prefer natural noise. All right, shotgun Latier, third down play, looking toward the end zone. It's caught at the 4-yard line. It is not a first down because it was third and goal. Now it's going to be fourth and goal from the 4. Does St. Cloud elect to kick the field goal because it would put them up 24-10, or do you go for the dagger and try and get up by 3 scores? I mean, if you don't make it and you go for the touchdown, I mean, Merritt Island will have miserable field position, so you can take that into account. 10:20 to go, the clock running. And let's see, looks like St. Cloud is going to go for it. Now, maybe they'll try and draw Merritt Island off sides, but again, it's fourth and goal from the 4. So that'll be half the distance of the goal. It'll still be fourth down. And you know what? Bob Short's going to talk it over with his team. Let's take a quick break. 10:05 to go in the ball game. 21-10 St. Cloud. We'll be right back. This is the high school football game of the week on Space Coast Daily. Along with executive producer Beth York and cameraman Nate Quinter, Jason Marltz with you. 10:05 to go in the ball game, and a big moment here for both teams. For St. Cloud offensively, for Merritt Island defensively, it's going to be fourth and goal from the 4. And let's see, it looks like St. Cloud is going to go for it. Again, if they don't make it, then Merritt Island has to go 96 yards. So we'll see what happens here. So Latier has Dalton, who's had a pretty good ball game so far, close to 100 yards right behind him. Fourth and goal for the 4. Dalton hands it off around the left side. He cannot get there. A vicious hit out of bounds, so Dalton gained a yard, but he needed 4, and Merritt Island will take over. Looked like it was Jonas Walters who belted Dalton out of bounds. So let's see where they spotted. Actually, looks like they're spotted about the 2. So the good news for Merritt Island is they stopped St. Cloud on the goal line. The bad news is they have to go 98 yards, and that takes a lot of time off the clock, you would think, unless they could spring a big play here. It's going to be first down from about their own 2. Mustangs quickly huddle on the sideline. Again, Kevin Verpale is their quarterback. Again, at halftime, he was 9 for 13 for 103 yards. And, well, actually, Verpale was just 1 for 5 for 8 yards. Latier was 9 for 13. First down from the 2. Verpale is going to look it deep, and it's incomplete. Hoping maybe for a flag, the intended receiver was Femi Howard, and back deep defensively was Jeremiah Barnes. Single coverage, and good coverage by Barnes. He stayed with Howard step for step. So that'll bring up a second down and 10 for the Mustangs from their own 2-yard line. And again, the thing you got to think about, if Verpale drops back in the end zone, you cannot have a holding penalty, or it's going to be a safety, and that certainly will not help Merritt Island. So the offensive line has to do a good job here, cleanly and legally, and not pick up a hold. So again, second and 10 from their own 2. Verpale this time will stay on the ground. I assume that's Adams. And Adams gets up to about the 12-yard line. That's going to be a first down. So 10-yard run, and it was Elaine Adams. So that'll keep the drive going, and Verpale and Mustangs at least have a little bit of breathing room. It'll actually be their own 13, first down from their own 13. Again, you got to go pretty quickly here. You need 2 scores. 9.5 to go in the game, 21-10 St. Cloud. Verpale back to pass, has time. Looking far side, it's caught at the 20-yard line up to the 21. That'll be a gain of about 6, and it was Femi Howard on the reception.
Number 18, Femi Howard Jr. That was good for 6 yards. And on the tackle was number 8, Jeremiah Barnes.
Jeremiah Barnes defensively, back-to-back tackles for the Bulldogs. Exactly 9 minutes to go in the game. No huddle. Verpale shotgun. And it's a handoff, goes to number 3, and that is Hamilton. And Hamilton driven out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. So short run by Hamilton, but more than enough for a Merritt Island first down. So clock stopped, 8:53 to go. Good job by Hamilton to get out of bounds. Merritt Island should have all 3 of their timeouts. They certainly don't want to use them yet. Clock running, 8:45 to go. Shotgun Verpale, hands it off to Adams around the left side, and Adams with modest yardage up to the 29. Actually, give him 4. A little more than modest. Gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 for Merritt Island. And good job. If you use the sideline and save your timeouts, that would be beneficial for the Mustangs here. So 2nd down and 6 for the Mustangs from their own 29. Triple receivers right, double receivers left. Shotgun Verpale. Oh, I think we could have another penalty. Or do we have a timeout? I am looking for some information. Joe Hutton is bobbing his head like a bobber in a pool. What is that? Oh, illegal substitution, I think, on St. Cloud. 5-yard penalty, and now will be 2nd and 2 for the Mustangs from their own 34. Again, both teams really hurting themselves with penalties. 2nd and 2. Shotgun Verpale, back to pass. He's looking, throwing it over the middle. Oh, it's going to be, it's up in the air. It's intercepted. Oh, hot potato, get that sour cream out. Jeremiah Barnes, who's made a couple of nice tackles lately. He had a Christmas present about 3 months early. He couldn't hold on to the ball. It was like a hot potato. I mean, the sour cream, you got to get it out sometime. Get it out of the fridge. So incomplete pass. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 2. So that kind of keeps Merritt Island alive here. Clock stopped, 8:21 to go, and St. Cloud up 21-10. Triple receivers out to the right, including Thomas and Sarver. Actually, Sarver's off to the left here. Triple receivers right. Got Adams in the backfield alongside Verpale. And handoff. Adams will get up near the 39-yard line, and that'll keep the drive going. Gain of about 4. First down, Merritt Island. 8:13 to go. The clock stopped momentarily. You know, if you're Merritt Island, you probably really have to score in the next 3 to 4 minutes to have a chance. So they got to move pretty quickly here. It's not a fire drill yet, but it's getting close. Triple receivers out to the right for Verpale. First down from their own 39. Actually, call it the 40. First down from the 40. Back to pass for Verpale. He's rolling out to the right, being pursued. Ball's thrown down the field. Sarver's wide open. 30, 20, 15, 10, and into the end zone. Sarver with some great moves after a very easy catch. 60 yards. Verpale to Sarver, and Merritt Island has new life. It is 21-16 with the extra point coming up. What a pass by Verpale. Sarver caught it. He did some nice moves. I thought he was going to be taken down somewhere inside the 20, but he stayed on his feet, did a couple of nice jukes, and made it into the end zone. Extra point coming up by Liam Miller. He'll try and cut it to 4. The extra point is up, and the extra point is good. So Miller continues to be perfect this year on extra points. He is 21 for 21. Time out of the field. We got a good one here. 7:35 to go in the ball game. 21-17. St. Cloud over Merritt Island. We'll pause and be back. This is the high school football game of the week on Space Coast Daily. All right, welcome back. Merritt Island has come to life. They still trail 21-17. Liam Miller will kick it off from his own 40 with 7:35 remaining. So we'll see what happens here. But if you're St. Cloud, you want to hold on to the football and do some ball control and try and whittle some time off that clock. And at the same time, of course, try and pick up some first downs. So Miller, the left-footed kicker, gets his foot into it. Kicks this one deep, and that's going to be at least his 4th touchback of the night. So no time runs off the clock, and St. Cloud will start off a first down from their own 20. So I would say this is a good ball game, but again, very sloppy with the penalties. It's not a Michelangelo, I'll tell you that. But as far as drama, this one might come down to the bitter end. So St. Cloud will come back to work. Again, Jeremy Latier has had a pretty solid ball game, and he's only a sophomore. So he's got 2 more years to still develop and try and go to college. 6'3", 220. The PA announcer trying to fire up this crowd, and I don't think the crowd's buying it. They're kind of stoic like they're in church. Handoff goes to Dalton, and Dalton does not get very much. They might give him a half a yard to the 20.5. So it looks like it's going to be second down and 9.5. Clock running, 7:15 to go. So if you're St. Cloud, I mean, you can mix in a pass here, but more importantly, you want to keep that clock going. Maybe force Merritt Island to use their timeouts. We have exactly 7 minutes to go in the game, 21-17 St. Cloud. St. Cloud looking a little bit confused, trying to get this play off. Second down, and we'll just call it 9. Latier, shotgun. Motion near side. Latier rolling out to the right. We got another penalty flag. Ball's thrown and caught, but this play will probably not count. I think this is going to be on St. Cloud.
Get a penalty flag on the field. Could be illegal shift.
Illegal shift on St. Cloud. So that does 2 things. It nullifies the play, and it keeps the clock stopped with 6:44 to go. So 5-yard penalty. So it's going to bring up second down and long. So the line of scrimmage is a 16. They have to get to the 30, so it's going to be 2nd and 14 for St. Cloud from their 16. Double receivers out to the right. Shotgun Latier with Dalton right beside him. Got motion far side, Ochoa. Rolling out Latier, has time, looking down the sideline. Intercepted to the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown! Touchdown, Merritt Island. Ethan Holt with the touchdown. And Merritt Island, in dramatic fashion, has taken the lead 23-21. Not a good pass by Latier, right into the arms of Ethan Holt, who returned it about 25 yards for the score. So Merritt Island, their last lead was 7-0. That was early in the first quarter. So just their second lead of the ball game as they go out in front, 23-21. So Liam Miller on for the extra point. This will be his third extra point attempt of the evening. He moves it through. So time out of the field. Dramatic developments here at Merritt Island High School. Still 6:12 to go. Merritt Island 24 and St. Cloud 21. We'll pause and be back. This is the high school football game of the week on Space Coast Daily. All right, welcome back. Merritt Island has taken the lead, 24-21. So Liam Miller will kick things off. You know, for St. Cloud, I mean, obviously you're feeling pretty bad, but you know what? You're only down by 3. There's 6:12 to go. I mean, they could put together a game-winning drive here if they're smart, pick up some first downs, maybe get at least in the field goal range, maybe force it overtime. I mean, not to overspeak about it, but they have to forget about what just happened, that long interception return on the interception for the pick 6 by Ethan Holt. Last week, St. Cloud we got a little pooch kick. And where is it? Oh, it's way down the field. Okay, 20 and the 25-yard line. That'll be a 5-yard return for Santiago Ochoa. You know, again, St. Cloud doesn't want to see any more pick 6s. Because they had 2 pick 6s last week against Osceola. And a team like Osceola will really make you pay, and that's exactly what happened. And then they had a fumble on a kickoff that was returned by Osceola for a touchdown. They don't do that, and maybe they're in the game for a little while longer. Again, they were leading 7-6 early third, and then, again, the proverbial wheels fell off the wagon for them, to use a sports cliche that is overused. All right, first down for St. Cloud from their own 26. 2 receivers out to the right. We got motion near side by Taylor. Handoff goes around the left side, and that'll be a gain of about 4. And that is Cameron Dalton again. And I imagine Dalton by now is over 100 yards rushing. He had 33 at the half, and I think he's probably doubled that here in the second half. So, 2nd and 6 for St. Cloud from their own 29. Clock running, 5:30 to go in the game. Again, 24-21 in favor of Merritt Island. Shotgun on 2nd and 6. Latier looking near side, wide open. Ball's caught up to the 40. Still in bounds. He steps out of bounds at the 40-yard line. That'll be a gain of 11. And first time I've called this guy tonight. 25, Matthew Clement, a sophomore wide receiver. His first catch of the night. So that'll be a first down for St. Cloud. First down from their own 40. Dalton in the backfield. Double receivers to the right. Shotgun, Latier. He will hand it off to Dalton up the middle, and Dalton smothered at the 40-yard line. No gain. Now bring up a second down and 10. 5:10 to go in the game. So if you're St. Cloud here, you want to obviously get a touchdown here or a field goal, but not leave any time in the clock for Merritt Island. Under 5 minutes to go. 2nd and 10 from their own 40. And Glennon, who doesn't play that much, is actually, he's going to stay. Well, let's see. Yeah, he's going to stay in. Thought maybe he was going to go out. Double receivers left. So 2nd down and 10. They have to get to midfield to pick up the first. Motion far side, Taylor. Latier has time. He's looking far down the field, and it's incomplete. Kind of a dangerous pass. It was intended for Taylor, and who was there? Ethan Holt, who just had that interception return for the TD. That one Holt could not intercept, but kind of a dangerous pass again by Latier. Well, Latier might have a little Michael Vick in him, kind of living dangerously at times. All right, 3rd down and 10. 4:30 to go. I think St. Cloud has all 3 of their timeouts, so if they give up the ball here, and if they don't give up the first down, they could possibly get it back, but better for them to try and get a first down here and keep this drive going. 3rd down and 10 from their own 40. Shotgun Latier, double receivers left. Latier, he pumps once, and he's going to try and run it and get sacked. 3-yard loss back to the 36-yard line. Latier sacked, I believe, for the first time tonight. And Deshaun Thomas was able to get the sack. Caden Shimalewski is hobbling a little bit on the field. I don't know if he's going to check out. Shimalewski saying, hey, I'm hobbling a little bit, but I want to stay out here. So he's fired up. Well, this could be the ball game for St. Cloud. It's going to be 4th down and call it about 13 from their own 37. Latier, triple receivers right. Latier back to pass. He'll roll out to the right. Has some time. He throws it. Incomplete. We got a penalty flag in the backfield. I'm guessing probably a holding penalty, and that's what it is on St. Cloud. So it wouldn't matter if that pass is complete or not. The holding penalty will stop this drive, at least on 3rd down it will. And let's see if we have a change of downs here or what. Well, you decline the penalty, and Merritt Island should get the ball. So Joe Hutton huddling with his comrades. Holding penalty. Oh, wow, really? Are you kidding me? How often do you see offsetting holding penalties? Wow. I think the Merritt Island crowd is a little bit stunned by that, and so am I. All right, well, a reprieve here for St. Cloud. They'll get another play. It'll still be 4th down and about 13, and I think St. Cloud just called the timeout. Let's take a quick timeout. 3:40 to go in the ball game, 24-21. Merritt Island. We'll pause and be back. This is the high school football game of the week on Space Coast Daily. All right, welcome back. It's going to be a 4th down and 13 for St. Cloud from their own 37. 3:40 to go in the ball game. It is Merritt Island 22, St. Cloud 21. So St. Cloud, they really need to get this first down. Otherwise, they've got to use their timeouts defensively. 4th and 13 from the 37. Triple receivers right. Double receivers left. Latier back to pass. Latier throws it over the middle, and it's caught. It's caught at midfield. Is it enough for the first down? I think it is from the spot. What a big play by Latier, and he hit Bryce Williams right at the midfield, right at the chainstick. And they actually got a really good spot just over midfield, the 49.5-yard line. So the drama thickets here with 3:20 to go in the game. Latier, shotgun, double receivers left. Dalton beside him in the backfield. Oh, it's a hot potato, and falling down on it is Latier. And I'll tell you what, I give Latier credit for just falling on that ball because sometimes he can try and pick it up and get all twisted like a pretzel, and he just decided to instinctively fall on it. I mean, that's going to be a loss of 10, but better to hold on to the football by falling on it. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 for St. Cloud from their own 41. Now the Merritt Island crowd getting pretty excited. Latier shotgun. Back to pass. He's looking. He throws it. It's complete. Back up near the original line of scrimmage, plus 3 yards. The ball caught. Ethan Holt getting in on the tackle. And it was, let's see who caught the ball. It was number 3, Stacy Taylor. Taylor's had a pretty good ball game tonight. Well, this is more manageable for St. Cloud. It's going to be 3rd down and called about 6 from the Merritt Island 46. Certainly 4-down territory. Back to pass, Latier. Throws it far side, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That was Blendman. Had it in his hands, but couldn't corral it. Well, no choice here as St. Cloud will have to go for it. It's going to be 4th down and 6 for St. Cloud from the Merritt Island 46. This is likely the ball game because there's 1:46 to go. And if St. Cloud gives up the ball, it's going to be hard to get it back. 4th and 6 for St. Cloud for the Mustang 46. Latier back to pass. Throws. It's incomplete. And ironically, Owen Sullivan, the one ball he could not take in. He's had a fabulous ball game, but he couldn't catch that one in and out of his hands. And Merritt Island will take over, and they should be able to run out this last 1:43. Well, I'll tell you, you got to feel bad for Owen Sullivan. What a ball game. 3 touchdown receptions. I mean, he's going to be a special player, I think. Just a junior, so he's got at least one more year. But unfortunately, he'll probably remember missing that ball more than the 3 touchdowns that he scored. Nope. That's part of growing up, as my dad used to say. Hey, it's part of growing up. Got to take the disappointments in. I think I understand that now that I'm older. All right, Verpale shotgun, and he'll stay on the ground with Adams. Adams around the right side, cuts it up the middle, and Adams will be stacked up. Obviously, St. Cloud looking to try and strip that ball away. And if you're Adams, you got to hold on to that ball with both hands. And I assume that he does. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Well, St. Cloud does have, I think, all 3 of their timeouts. They're going to take one here. Why don't we take it with them? 1:28 to go in the ball game. 24-21 Merritt Island. This is the high school football game of the week at Space Coast Daily. All right, 1:28 to go. Second down play, Merritt Island, midfield. Handoff Adams again. And a helmet comes off. Oh, wow, 34. Steve Stevens. Good alliteration on that name. Helmet came off. He'll have to check out for one play. That's the rule. He'll check out. Looks like he's okay. I don't think there's any concussion syndrome he's going through. All right, well, St. Cloud has a prayer here. 1:10 to go. It's 3rd down and 1. They need a stop here, and then they're probably going to have to call another timeout. Number 78 for Merritt Island. That's a big player. Joey Sonnenberg is going to check out at center, and checking in will be the backup center, Skylar Freeman. Boy, Sonnenberg hardly ever comes out of the game, but he is shaken up. All right, a very bunched line. I hope we don't see the tush push here. I'm really getting tired of the tush push with the Eagles. It'll be the Mustang tush push if they try and do it here. 3rd and 1 for the 46. Handoff goes to Adams, and Adams will have the first down with forward progress. St. Cloud will probably use another timeout, but I think that pretty much clinches the ball game. 37 seconds to go. And now they're going to wind the clock, and you know what? Merritt Island is going to be celebrating tonight as they're going to pick up their second consecutive win after they beat Palm Bay last week. Was it easy? Absolutely not, but they did enough in the 4th quarter to pull away as the clock winds down. And they're not going to run another play. That'll do it. So, Merritt Island will hold on and defeat St. Cloud 24-21. They will improve to 3-2 on the year, and St. Cloud, after winning their first 3, are now suffering through a 2-game losing streak to fall to 3-2. So Merritt Island improves to 3-2, and St. Cloud falls to 3-2. Well, no post-game interviews tonight, but if you want to watch a replay of the game, of course, you can do that tomorrow morning here at SpaceCoastDaily.com. Again, I want to thank my executive producer, the lovely Beth York, my cameraman, Nate Quinter. I'm J.C. Meyerholtz. Of course, check out our other games tonight. Again, O'Galley and Cocoa and Astronaut and Holy Trinity. Holy Trinity is winning big late, and O'Galley is up on Cocoa in the first half. But you can check out those games as well at SpaceCoastDaily.com. Not sure where I'm going to be next week, but I will be with you 1 week from tonight. It won't be from here because Merritt Island will go on the road to take on Ed White, and St. Cloud is going to host, or actually St. Cloud is going to go to Orlando and take on Lake Nona. All right, Jason Miles signing off. Thanks for watching, and thanks to my great staff here. We will talk to you next week. This is SpaceCoastDaily.com. Good night.